Hello. We're going to talk about Latonna and Catwoman. This is an old story from down in New Orleans. The setting's on the banks of the Mississippi River. Once, down the road from New Orleans on the mighty Mississippi, Pretty Polly was to marry young Samuel from way up the road. But there was a girl named Latonna, said that Samuel belonged to her. She said Polly had tricked him, and she was going to get him back. She went to the conjure woman named Catwoman. Fear her. Woman had money to burn. She had the power. Everybody knew about her, and most stayed away from her. For her life depended on something all of us have, but few of us are willing to part with. Latonna had got the word that Catwoman, a vodu, would help her. But first, Latonna had to give Catwoman a suck of her blood. Catwoman, she had the albino skin, was a she-vampire, and she fooled Latonna, said she needed her blood to make the charm against Pretty Polly more powerful. It won't be much, Latonna girl, Catwoman said. She forced her sharp teeth into Latonna's neck and sucked her fill. I'm telling you the truth. Afterward, Latonna went on home, dragging her legs as limp as a dish rag. And Catwoman hadn't even taken some money. She'd told Latonna, go buy some food, get your belly filled. When they lay away that Polly girl, murmured Catwoman, you come back for a charm. It'll bring your Samuel closer to you than a sick puppy on a warm fire. Catwoman laughed. They said her laugh came from a breath with no life in it, only death and darkness. When Latonna got home, she lay down at once and could hardly lift her head from the pillow. But she was satisfied. Soon, Pretty Polly grew sick and tired and took to her bed. The rumor was that Polly wouldn't even have old bones in her body. Young Samuel, he was frantic over Polly. The doctor came to look at her. He said there's nothing he could do. From then on, Samuel knew the worst. He knew that Latonna had put that spell on Polly. Samuel, he went to the city to find the same voodoo conjure woman Latonna had gone to. He would pay for a better spell to help Polly. Word about the she-vampire Catwoman was on the street. Samuel found out where she lived. She opened the door just as he was about to knock. She was dressed all in white. Her face was covered in rice powder to hide the foul-smelling rot. Samuel felt his flesh creep. Said the she-vampire's arms moved like a bird's wings, opening and shutting on a warm day. Her nails would sheathe and unsheathe like a cat's claws. But it was her eyes, Samuel said later. They bulged out at you, wet, shiny like marbles. She told him, I know why you come here, but I want to hear you say it. Then Samuel told her about Pretty Polly's poor state of health. The she-vampire murmured, my price for saving her is a suck of your young blood. Are you willing to pay the price? You can get as much blood as you want from the slaughterhouse, he told her. But I want it strong and fresh from young veins, she grinned at him. It was then Samuel saw her pointed cat's teeth. She looked deep into his eyes. I was hypnotized, he later said. She wrapped her arms around his chest and leaned her head towards his neck. He felt her teeth break the skin and sink right in, took that blood. She seemed to purr then as she sucked at his blood. After she drank her fill, she told him, your girl will be well by the time you get home. But just remember, I can spell her any time I want. You will come back here many more times to give me more blood. Don't you go forget. Samuel barely made it home, but he found Polly sitting in a chair and eating everything in sight. Meantime, Latonna was beside herself. She had heard Polly was well. And though Latonna stuffed herself like a pig, she seemed to be drying up into an old hag. So she dragged herself to Catwoman's door. She fussed at Catwoman for not taking care of her. She got sassy with the she-vampire. Why did she have to go and do that? Catwoman grabbed her and shook her like a wet rag. Latonna fainted. Catwoman thought she'd broken her neck. She lost her head and sent for the he-vampire. Between them, she carried Latonna to the canal to dump her body. A policeman happened by and saw him. The he-vampire, he took off. The police couldn't catch him. But somehow they managed to hold on to Catwoman. They didn't get bit. They put her away. Solitary cell. No bail to get her out. Newspapers, they all had pictures of her. Just awful to see, just awful. Yet the story ended just about the way you'd expect. Latonna got well, but she never tried any more nonsense over Pretty Polly. And Pretty Polly, she went courting her Samuel and baking cakes and pies with her mama. Oh, goodness. And Catwoman, the she-vampire, she died in jail because she couldn't get any more blood. People said it was foolish to mess with the poison weed. Said you should just pull it, throw it in the sun, let the roots dry. So there ain't no more Catwoman, or is there?